What's with all of the drones that people are seeing over New Jersey and some of the other states in the northeastern part of the United States? I've seen the stories and theories and listened to the commentary about drones seen over New Jersey and a few other places in northeastern United States. Some of them say that they're UFOs and aliens and motherships. Others say that it is the government sniffing for lost or missing radioactive material. And still other theories say that there is an Iranian mothership off the coast of the United States. Yet I find the timing of this most curious. Now here's something that many of you might not know. The 2025 Defense Spending Authorization Bill is coming up to a final vote in the U.S. Senate in about a week. In a procedural vote last Monday, that was December the 16th, senators voted 83-12 in favor of moving to a full vote on the National Defense Authorization Act. That's the NDAA. This is a massive piece of legislation that sets priorities and authorizes funding for the U.S. Department of Defense. That's the military. There is a provision within the 2025 NDAA to ban use of Chinese manufactured drones, DJI and Autel Robotics. There is a concern among some lawmakers that Chinese drones pose a serious threat to U.S. national security. Republican Representative Elise Stefanik says, and I quote, "This Chinese-controlled company," they're referring to DJI, "cannot be allowed to continue to operate in the United States." Back in August of this year, Republican Senator Marco Rubio called Chinese drones a huge vulnerability. I find it interesting that over 90% of U.S. public safety agencies in the nation and worldwide today are utilizing made-in-China aircraft. But I also find that it's interesting that most smartphones are assembled in China. No ban proposal on them? Could it be that all of these drones that people are seeing in the skies are a part of a massive scheme by the government to gin up support for a national ban on Chinese manufactured drones? And the fact of the matter is that DJI has no serious competition. Seems to me someone is trying to change that. There are companies within the United States that manufacture drones, but those drones are twice as expensive and, in my opinion, not easy to maintain, and they're not as good as DJI's drones. Most recreational drone operators are not going to buy those expensive drones. So for now, China has cornered the recreational drone market. Now, if Chinese manufactured drones are banned in the United States, then a new opportunity presents itself on the American landscape with regards to drones. And or is this a prelude to something else? Could this be an elaborate scheme for the government to totally control the skies? In other words, recreational drone pilots will no longer be able to fly their Chinese-made toy drones. Is a time coming where only American-made drones will be authorized to fly in American airspace? And with that, only governmental and civilian authorities will be authorized to fly them, namely the military, law enforcement, paramedics, etc. It is very possible that what is occurring is a search and recovery mission. There's reports that radioactive material was lost or is missing, and the government is simply trying to find that lost or missing material. But it could be like this. The government creates a problem. What is that problem? People seeing the skies over New Jersey and other states flooded at night with drones. People look up, they don't know what's going on because they've never seen such a large influx of drones like that. Then we have the conspiracy theorists pouring fuel on the fear that this is an alien invasion or an invasion of a foreign adversary. Now, we saw, a year previous where Chinese balloons somehow entered into U.S. airspace unimpeded, and eventually the United States government shot them down. And so the problem is splashed all over the legacy media and social media platforms. The public shows fear and concerns and enters into the fear zone. The government lets that fear bake for a while. Then the public demands answers and wants something done about it. The government offers a solution. The public gives the government permission to fix it to make it feel safe and secure. But the government's fix or solution is at a cost. The imposition of strict rules, regulations, and laws. Translation: more of our freedoms taken away. Remember 9/11 and the fear that it caused? Now one can't go through an airport without standing in long lines and going through security checks. Remember the pandemic and the fear that it caused? Many people were on lockdown. I observed the behavior of individuals in grocery stores. It was everyone for themselves. It was really crazy. So even with those two events, 9/11 and the pandemic, we sacrificed some of our freedoms for the sake of so-called safety and security. Yet even now, many don't feel safe because at any moment, something can pop off. There was a shooting in Madison, Wisconsin, my home state. A 16-year-old girl killed a school teacher, a student, injured many others, and then turned a gun on herself. A 16-year-old child. So there's a certain edginess and apprehension among many Americans. And with this latest drone craze over New Jersey, many feel even more edgy and unsafe because they don't know what's going on. The government isn't saying. The government isn't shooting them down. So these must be governmental assets. No, we're not going to shoot down our own assets. And so for government officials and politicians to get on TV and lie and say they don't know what these are and that they're investigating, of course they know what they are. Especially when they say, don't be alarmed. Why say that? If you don't know what they are, why say, don't be alarmed, don't be concerned? So the government creates a problem, lets the fear bake in, the people demand action, the government offers a solution, but at the expense of us sacrificing something, some of our freedoms. What's going to be next? But the government's mission is accomplished. But I think, now I don't know this for sure, but I believe that it is very possible that soonest Chinese drones will be illegal here in the United States. And the U.S. government is going to take full control over the airspace to spy on and find these drug cartels. The United States has a very serious opioid problem. It is an epidemic. These high-tech drones, if they're outfitted properly, can spy on you, can listen in on your conversations from very high altitudes. They can monitor crime activity. These are moving cameras in the sky. If you're sitting on your back porch or patio having a barbecue, the government can spy on you and see everything that you're doing. If you're in your house, the doors are closed, the windows are shut, drones can be outfitted to listen in on your conversations inside of your own house. And if Chinese drones are banned and made illegal in the United States, enter stage right American drone companies. Contracts are now made with the government. huge amounts of money is made for all involved. But here's the thing. They won't go after the smartphones and even smart TVs, which are largely manufactured in China. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, I believe that something sinister is in the works. Something sinister is always in the works. And it involves greed and power and control over the masses. I leave you with this video.
(911), what is your emergency?
I think I'm being robbed. 3 guys at my store and they have a gun.
What is the address?
Jack's Mini Mart, 6316 North 83rd Street.
Responder 1 en route, arrival in 45 seconds.
Edward 9, 3 minutes out.
Edward 11, ETA in 6.
Caller states 2 white males standing outside, possibly armed, 1 white male inside the store.
Edward 9, copy.
And we have our generational perspectives. We have our armed robbery in progress. Pull up the drone feed. Yes, sir.
3 suspects are on foot. Alleyway adjacent to the food mart.
Wait, is that just a lighter? Unit standby. It appears to be a lighter.
Responder 1, affirmative. Object appears to be a lighter and not a weapon.
Edward 9, copy.
Got it on the live feed. We'll make contact and advise.
It's not hard to imagine how this situation could have gone differently. Brave is building a system to give first responders more information before they arrive at emergencies and lower response times. Specialized drones are pre-positioned in robotic charging stations at strategic locations throughout a community. The system is integrated with 911, computer-aided dispatch, and other software to deploy the aircraft autonomous in seconds. These drones can deliver life-saving payloads faster than ever. With an onboard two-way audio system, responders can even communicate remotely to provide instructions.
All right, we have help headed your way. We've dispatched a drone that's equipped with an AED. Need you just keep giving me updates on your status.
They can also gather intel or de-escalate a situation. Drones can be deployed in the field to get a fast bird's-eye view of any situation and generate 3D models for documentation or courtroom use.